Hey guys, it's Cristobal here, and you are welcome back to my video, my channel. I don't know what to call it just yet, but I hope that these videos that I'm going to be creating will add something to your life and just a bit of food for thought. Might as well. I talk about everything under the sun, whether it's about being a med student or talking about things that inspire me or just little gems and seeing if that could be of use to you in your daily life. I want you to be able to come back or to leave at least these videos with some sort of sense of empowerment. That's the word, exactly. So what am I going to be talking about today? Okay, I'm going to be talking about education, specifically doing a second degree in medicine, because it's actually quite a common route. I've noticed, and you probably have seen it, that especially here in Europe, a lot of people do a degree. And in the US, they do a degree first and then they go into medicine. And it is actually quite interesting to see because there are many factors in which people actually do a second degree in medicine. It might be because they didn't get the grades, or because they didn't realize they wanted to do medicine at one point and then decided to do it, or just life in general made them decide they wanted to switch things up and go to med school. There are many reasons as to why people decide to do medicine as a second degree. But with that, it also creates a number of, would I say, challenges in a sense. Sometimes it's not funded because mainly here in the UK, it's like that. If you do medicine as a second degree, you either have to be in the graduate entry course, which is very competitive to get into, to be able to get even half of the funding from, I think, the good low student loans, and then the other half from, I think, the NHS bursary or something like that. So there's that, and then the people who just go in and do 5 years pay for everything for themselves, and that's not including all the other funding that you need to do, living expenses and all that type of jazz. That's another thing. I think the thing that's really interesting is seeing how a second degree is marketed, or you know what I should actually say, how the first degree is marketed in as a way for people to get into med school. Yes, it is possible to get into med school by doing a biomedical sciences degree or a clinical sciences degree or any type of biology, chemistry degree, but the pathways to actually get into those spaces are not as necessarily clear cut. It's not visible enough, and I don't think people understand the competition ratios are completely different to when you just go in straight from the idea. I think it's sixth form high school, that equivalency. I think it is mainly. I think the thing is, people need to also understand that by doing a second degree, you're taking a longer process to get in, and you have to really have the, what I say, stamina, or foresee that you're probably gonna need a lot of stamina to actually get into the degree in the first place, as in get into med school after your first degree. Because a lot of the modules that you do in your first degree in those like sciences, although they have the human sciences basis, medicine is a bit more, I would actually say, more anatomical, if that makes sense. It's more based on the human itself after learning all the processes, so it goes a step further in that way. And the detail, or what they want you to know in your first degree of sciences, is pretty much very different as to what they want you to know in med school. They want you to know how to use the presentations that a patient comes in with, to find out that, meaning like the symptoms that they have. So what they want in your, I think mainly the reason why you can do a first degree and then go into med school is because they want to see your work ethic and what you learned and what grades you got and what kind of things you have as interests to get into med school, which is very similar to how you would have done it from the first degree. But I think the second degree shows your commitment to medicine even more so than the first one did. So it is quite interesting in that way, I say. But I will actually give you the positives of doing it first degree before you go into second degree. Mainly it's because you've got familiarity, you've probably figured out a way you study, or the way you learn. Granted, you probably will change your style of study because it's medicine and you're learning large volumes of content, so you become more efficient. But yeah, you find it a bit more easier in that retrospect for sure. And also, you are open to more wider career. It's not just the fact that you've done medicine before, you've done a previous degree beforehand. You can be even more interested in research. You've written more essays before, so you can join in on audits and the rest. I haven't done an audit myself, but I know I can now because I've done something similar to that by doing dissertations and stuff prior. Yes, you do really have an advantage by doing a degree in a lot of ways as well, too. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I would say you have to figure out which one is actually best for you. Which one would you prefer to be doing? And I think at the end of the day, if you getting to the destination, you wouldn't really mind as to whether you did a first or second degree, because you're all pretty much on the same boat once you get into med school. And I think that's actually pretty cool in a lot of ways, because everybody comes from totally different walks of life. I probably have a lot more to say on this too, but if you guys can use this as a sounding board to talk a bit more about what it's like being a graduate on a medical school course, or if you have any questions about it, let me know, because it'd be quite cool to hear what you guys have to say. Alright, I'll see you soon, and God bless.